All right, we're in Bali last week. We go into a beautiful cafe, and damn, this cafe, it's killer coffee smell in the air. Pastries are cooking, music is vibing, the place is packed. And we sit down, and our seat, we're pretty much in the center of the cafe. And then I look around, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of really good looking people here, and everyone is on their phone. I wouldn't say everyone, look, 80% of people are lit. Their face is lit because their phone is on. And they're just looking at their phones. I'm like, you know what? People just catching up with their emails, whatever. And as we're basically having lunch, you look around again, and those same people are still on their phone. And you barely hear them having chats, barely see them having a connection. And then you see one couple on the side of your eye, man, they haven't talked at all. That guy and that girl literally been watching reels on their iPhone this whole lunch for an hour. Yeah, man. And then I'm like, damn, this happens so often. So often. You're in paradise. You're thinking, let's talk about paradise and what we're getting up to. Instead, you're stuck on your phone. So why am I bringing this up? Why am I bringing that? Because I'm seeing it way too often in our modern society. And people want to talk about we are the most connected society ever. Yes, we are connected, but damn, we are miles apart when it comes to being present and actually paying attention to one another and giving each other space to talk and just being there with your people. And this is how things are eroding. And this is why I'm bringing this up. Because if you want human connection, you gotta give it. You gotta actually give it. All right, so what is causing this? Well, the first thing is definitely our devices. We're addicted to our devices. Look, I'm in the same category. I like my phone as well. It's on my hands a lot of the times. And the more you see it around us, yeah, we're all somewhat hooked. At the bus stop, you see people on their devices. On the train, you see people on the devices. At dinner, when you're meant to be breaking bread and having conversations, you see people on devices. And this is happening so often. What else? The apps that are created are designed to grab our attention because they literally give us the fastest dopamine hit that we could ever want. That's why shorts are amazing. That's why our attention span in society right now is very narrow. And look, it's by design, right? It's by design to capture our attention. I don't blame people because the third reason why what's causing this is our lack of awareness that it's doing it to us. Because if you're not aware that it's doing this to you, you're just going to continue to do it. You're just going to be an NPC in this universe where you're just going to be stuck, caught up in this little zombie mode. And then you're thinking, why am I losing connection? Why is my partner not paying attention to me? Why am I not having these conversations that I'm craving for? Is because we are not putting the time and effort into doing that. Because having conversations, listening requires patience, requires slow, steady pace. Yeah, and it's all messy. And sometimes some of us just rather be on our phones. Yes, and it happens to people around me all the time, including my closest friends and family members. So, how is this really affecting our relationships with those that we love? First thing is if I'm in conversation with my wife and suddenly I just pick up my phone and start looking at it, that immediately signals to my wife or my friends or whomever I'm with that they're not as important. Even me talking to you right now and holding this phone shows, and I'm just holding it as a demo, but you're already feeling like I'm not that important. If I'm doing this while I'm talking to you, yeah, it just signals that, hey, this is more important than you are. And that's what we are constantly doing if we're sitting there having a meal with the ones that we supposedly care about and we're just on our devices. And over time, this is not just a one-time thing, it's momentum. It just builds and builds and builds. And eventually, you create a distance between yourself and those that you actually care about. The other effect of this is once you do that, you start to lose the other person's respect. I've got family members that are my brothers and sisters, and sometimes when we catch up, some of them are just on their devices playing games. Do you think I want to hang out with that person? No, because they couldn't care less about, creating this bond and building on this bond. They'd rather play games when they're around me. That's fine. That's up to them. But yeah, you just start to slowly lose people's respect when you do that. And how else is this affecting it? It just basically doesn't allow you to build the relationships that you want. It literally creates distance and disconnect. Okay? So that's what's happening. So now, with all this information that I just shared with you, what do we do next? Two things. First thing, very simple, yeah? And it's very hard, even for me. Very hard for all of us. Call to action right now for all of us. When we're in a restaurant, don't put the phone on the table. Put the phone in your handbag or put the phone in your pocket, but don't pick it up. Don't pick it up. And be aware of that. Be aware that the phone is there, but you are not going to have that itch to pick it up. And be present with those that are around you. That's the first thing that you can do to create connection. Put that phone away. It's hard, I know, but we all can do it. We're in this together, okay? That's number one. Number two is actually be aware that it is addictive. Yes, be aware that it's addictive. Be aware that it's sometimes that it is a distraction from what is actually meaningful. That's it. If you do that, that is a great starting point on building connections with those people around you. Just put it away. So yeah, that's my hot tip after observing people around me in beautiful Bali and in the cafes and restaurants that I was in. I'm not saying this is happening to everyone, but it is very noticeable. So build connections, stay present, put the phone away, have a beautiful day. All right. I hope that helps someone out there in regards to just connecting with those around them more. All right. Peace out. Thanks, gang.